Episode 3 has breached containment. Batten down the hatches and get your daily dose of amnestics ready because these skips don't give a good gosh darn if you want them to stay put. Hello horror heads and welcome back to the Scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your horror host Keegan Hughes and today we're coming back with a brand new episode of the Top 5 Scariest SCP Creatures that managed to escape, Part 3. Yeah, it happens more often than we'd like, but hey, that's all part of the anomalous entity gig. Speaking of things we'd rather not let escape, let's talk e-security. That's right, today's video is sponsored by Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN service that makes online privacy protection easy and attainable. It encrypts all internet traffic sent to and from your devices and ensures that your IP address remains hidden to make sure nobody can see what you do online. On top of that, they block ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts. And unlike other VPN services, you can use it on as many devices as you'd like simultaneously. I spend 8 hours a day researching and writing videos online and even more at home, which takes me to all corners of the web. Considering the spooky, creepy, and downright disturbing subject matter I sometimes stumble across, I don't want just anyone having access to my information. With Surfshark, my personal info is encrypted and sent via a secure VPN tunnel to ensure nobody can access it without my permission. Surfshark also protects users from targeted ads. I can't tell you how many times I've seen an ad for a hilariously bad movie on Blu-ray right after finishing up a video on it. By using their VPN services, targeted ads are no longer a nuisance. Click on the link in the description or go to surfshark.deals/scaryvideos and use the promo code SCARYVIDEOS to sign up for 83% off and 1 extra month free. You're tired of targeted ads, you want to keep your streaming habits to yourself, what are you waiting for? Before we get started on our countdown, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more escape artistry. Wicked, let's get going. Swimming in at number 5, we've got SCP-4233. The brother of another SCP that managed to escape, this fella tends to trudge around in an old school diving suit. You know the one, like from the SpongeBob movie, or akin to a Big Daddy from BioShock. Rigid, round, metal helmet, weighted boots, glass window on the front. Yeah, you know the kind. So this big burly lad walks around with a large stockless anchor. The anchor is estimated to be over 500 kilograms and is covered in at least 75 years worth of algae, barnacles, and more. His suit is opaque to all forms of imaging and super impervious to damage. Like, you could fire anti-tank missiles at it and it wouldn't budge. Hell, surface-to-surface missiles didn't do a thing. Any and all attempts to contain 4233 have just resulted in failure, as he tends to pretty much ignore them. Put a barricade in front of him and walk right through it. Send a task force to slow him down, it's like they're not even there. Oh, and when I say he walks through stuff, I don't mean like a ghost. No, I mean like a wrecking ball. 4233 will walk straight through a wall, leaving it to crumble behind him. Appearances are erratic, but his behavior is predictable. On any random day, it'll just show up on a beach and walk straight up out of the water. Then this lumbering lad will walk at a gradual pace in a straight line, only altering trajectory to avoid injuring civilians, animals, and large plants. If you're a log, an unattended vehicle, or an abandoned building, sorry, you're out of luck. This ancient mariner will plow right through you. He'll remain on this path until making it to the ocean once more, sometimes walking across entire continents over a period of months. Once back in the ocean, it'll set down the anchor, clap its hands once, pick the anchor back up, and walk back into the sea. Somehow, it has never walked into any major population centers. It's likely this was a conscious choice. In a quick radio-based conversation with the seafaring suit wearer, it was actually revealed that he is related to Moon Champion, Champion of the Moon. We need a team-up tale where they get together and fight sea baddies and space baddies together and solve crimes. And there's a talking animal sidekick. Make it happen, SCP writers. Coming in at number 4, SCP-303. Ah, yes, the door thing. Love me a nude, sexless, emaciated humanoid with a giant mouth full of giant teeth and no other discernible facial features. My favorite! This wheezing, wah-inducing, person-shaped entity loves to materialize just outside of any closed door. Why? Who knows? Anyone who's encountered 303 can describe it in full, even if they didn't actually see it. This is odd, especially considering the fact that it doesn't let anyone see more than 10% of it at a time. In fact, if somebody views it directly, it'll straight up disappear. And if it's waiting outside of a clear door, like let's say a glass sliding entrance, it will fog up the material as to not be seen. It's resourceful. Once it materializes behind the entryway barrier of choice, it will remain there for an indeterminate amount of time. Sometimes it's a few hours, sometimes it's weeks. Doorman roulette. Anyone on the other side of the hatch will then be paralyzed by a crippling fear until it dematerializes. The source of the fear is unclear, but it has been determined to be similar to arachnophobia and other such fears on a sort of preconscious genetic level. At one point, it waited outside a set of doors long enough so that the man on the other side actually died of dehydration. Whether it meant to kill the man is up for debate. Lastly, 303 loves to snag all sorts of items and bring them back to an undisclosed hiding place, although the purpose of this behavior has yet to be figured out. So in the meantime, let's keep hoping that it won't materialize in the outside world. I quite enjoy my freedom of movement between doors. Coming in at number 3, SCP-076. Classic Abel. We're all at least somewhat familiar with this OG SCP, correct? You know, he hangs out in his big stone cube, goes on a killing spree, will only stop if someone kills him, superhuman abilities, hates Kane. You know, with his insane strength, speed, and tenacity, it is no wonder Abel has escaped containment a few times. He's able to ignore pain and shock and press through debilitating wounds in order to stay on the warpath. We've seen him rip through reinforced doors barehanded, cover 64 meters in 3 seconds, eat 50 caliber rounds to the head, swat handgun rounds out of the air, survive for an hour without oxygen, and even materialize bladed weapons out of nowhere. The man goes full Terminator mode, and Sarah Connor does not stand a chance. If you kill Abel, he'll turn to dust and return to the cube and eventually start all over again. At one point, the Foundation attempted to use him as an asset. This led to a pretty famous instance of him escaping. They would send him on missions as the perfect killing machine, but often found it difficult to keep him engaged and not fighting with his own teammates. Of course, he eventually went rogue and had to be put down. Want to know how they did it? Because it sure wasn't the detonator collar around his neck. Nope. They had to set off the on-site nuclear warheads. Come on, Abel, those aren't cheap. Coming in at number 2, SCP-4975. Nursery rhymes are universally creepy, right? Like, as a kid, you didn't think much about them because they were really all you knew. But as you got a little older, you took a closer look and thought, holy crap, why are we singing about the bubonic plague? Well, 4975 is the subject of many German folktales and nursery rhymes. Yep, dating all the way back to 1538. Some serious history in this one. And like most good nursery rhymes, it's all real, baby. 4975 is a big, tall, skinny bird man with a large beak. The cervical vertebrae in its spine are not interconnected and actually move independent of one another. It constantly rotates them one vertebra at a time, causing a rhythmic clicking sound with each repetition. This only stops when it's preparing to attack. The bird will stalk victims for months at a time before killing them by bludgeoning and tearing at their flesh. Then it will eat the cadaver, which often lasts up to 3 months. I wish my food would last that long. Right now, the classification is up in the air, Keter pending, and I'll explain why in a moment. It's hard to say whether this counts as an escape or not, but it appears that the killings have continued even after containing 4975. The Foundation was investigating the reports of a German man who complained about hearing constant rhythmic clicking for months. This seemed odd as the creature was in containment. Foundation agents were following the man around when the clicking stopped, causing him to panic. He pointed frantically at something, but the agents couldn't see what he was pointing at. The man then began exhibiting many wounds consistent with those from 4975 attacks. All the while, 4975 remained still in the chamber. Strips of flesh were pulled from the man's body in Germany and then vanished. 4975 was seen eating after this despite not being fed. So somehow, this big belligerent bird can impose its presence on people when it's not physically there. Again, does that count as an escape? Kinda. And finally at number 1, SCP-5999. This is part of the brand new mystery category for Series 6. Like, brand new. Like, people are still in discussion right now trying to piece together clues. Go check it out. It has yet to be fully solved, and I do not claim to fully understand it. But I do claim to have accidentally released it by reading the entry all the way to the end. Terminal view, headphones on. Sorry guys, I biffed it. There are 7 main parts to this entry, each a sort of scary story in its own right. Each time you make it through a part of the entry, a candle is extinguished. It sort of works in the same way that the game of 100 ghost stories works. In this old parlor game, 100 candles would be lit in a dark room. Participants would tell a ghost story, then extinguish a candle. You were supposed to do this until 100 tales were told and 100 candles were out. Most of the time, people chicken out, leaving at least 1 candle burning. If all the candles go out, it is a perfect place for the evocation of spirits. So in this entry, we start with 7 candles, 1 for each part, a story being told in each. It's expected that the reader will stop at some point. They're warned many times not to read on under threat of chains slackening, spirits being released, death, etc. There are even scary noises and glitches that persist to help the reader make the correct decision to leave. However, being a dumbass, I read all the way to the end, extinguishing all of the candles, which of course released the spirit into the waking world. I should be dead by all accounts, but hey, go give it a try yourself, see what happens. Still, there are lots of unanswered questions about 5999. What happened to the bodies mentioned in the story? How does this connect to SCP-5000? What's up with the video game? Who are the prodigy priest and king? I'd keep an eye on this one and see how the theories develop. It is mighty wicked. However, Foundations did release something from Foundation custody. Whatever it is, it escaped. Well, I sure don't feel any safer after running down those entries. What do you think? Excited for the new Series 6 entries? Any theories about 5000 or 5999 you want to share? Any SCP escapees that you think should have made the list? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of your more ambiguous ones from Top 5 SCP Monsters That Can Never Escape, Part 10. Toko Cat says, I'm not gonna lie, I do want to pet the giant snake just once. One is never enough. You're gonna give it like 5 pats and then succumb to necrosis. Maxim Baker says, imagine all these SCPs escaping and fighting each other. We could finally get a follow-up to the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny. Good guys, bad guys, and explosions as far as the eyes can see. And only one will survive? No, okay, whatever. William Jacobs says, Keegan, sup fam? I'm just out here filming videos, waiting for my lunch to show up. You know the deal. What's up with you? All sorts of folks. 772 or 722? 722. Great work, team. And Slap Mafia says, what is SCP? Super critch pids with nothing but loose ends. Super critch pids with nothing but fake friends. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Before I walk directly into the heart of the abyss, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more cryptic content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.